Hello everybody and welcome to Galactic Tabletop. I'm Galaxy Master Alex.
I'm Neophyte John.
And today we're going to be talking about how to build a psychic character in Stars Without Number, starting at level 1. Alright guys, today we're talking about the Psychic class. This is perhaps my favorite class. It's the one I actually play in my campaign, or the campaign I'm playing in. And there is a reason it's my favorite. It's because they have the deepest lore drops about Psychics. And it is super fun. So to start, Psychics, you get a little bit of roleplay inspiration. So Psychics use the metadimensional energies that we use to travel intergalactically, and those energies are imbued into your brain because you traveled the stars when you were young or your parents did. Anyways, what happens is this psychic energy gets into your brain and it needs room in your brain. So guess what it does? It makes room by burning away your brain.
Doesn't seem like a very healthy thing.
No, in fact, it's actually quite an issue because it was called metadimensional syndrome. When your child started showing psychic abilities, it was almost considered your child's dead because they would go feral. And can you imagine a 12-year-old who really has no impulse control with the ability to pick you up and throw you having a tantrum?
He just wanted a snack.
He just wanted the cookie out of the cookie jar, and you said no. But yeah, they go feral, and when a child goes feral, they are quite literally a feral psychic is one of the most dangerous things anybody can encounter in Stars Without Number. Now, a sane psychic is a lot of fun, and the way that they remain sane is by psychic trainings that are done in schools or programs or by a master, someone who has already mastered the psychics, who went through the rigors and was able to somehow form their brain so that they didn't go feral. And the book states that a person who can do this without any training is like 1 in 10,000 or 100,000. So, and to be a psychic, you are already 1 in 100,000. So you're taking 100,000 of those 100,000s, and so they're rare. So when you have that trainer, they train you to route the psychic powers through less important parts of your brain. So you still lose something. So you get the opportunity to play a character who's not always there.
Yeah, maybe you just can't remember what you had for breakfast this morning.
That could be, you could have short-term memory.
That's your trade-off.
Yeah, but for my character just doesn't understand social cues at all. Like, if you want his help, you have to ask him for help. He's like, oh yeah, I could have, but like, it doesn't even occur to him. So it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of roleplay opportunity if you don't want to play someone who's all there. But if you do want to play a psychic who's all there, I mean, you route it through less important parts, so you still get an opportunity there. Psychics have several main abilities that you can go through. And there are full psychics and restricted psychics. Restricted psychics can only have one psychic ability, and you usually get this psychic ability through either being a partial psychic, which you can gain through a foci, or through an adventuring class. The unrestricted psychics can have any psychic power, and they can have all of them. You just depends on what you focus on.
Psychic powers, please.
Yes. So to start off with psychic powers, there is biopsionics. And biopsionics is at lower levels, it's your heal. You know, it's like, I can heal you, I can pick you back up, I can make sure that you're living all right, no poison, nothing's going to get you. At higher levels, it's a little scary. You can literally give a person cancer from like 60 meters away, and they won't even know.
So you're saying I can heal them to death at higher levels?
You can heal them to death at higher levels. At higher levels, biopsionics can even mutate people, and they cannot die, essentially. They get something called quintessential reconstruction, where if they get dismembered, blown up, killed, just take the largest part of them, keep it safe, and they'll regrow in 24 hours.
I'm a psyker and I choose to live.
You're a psyker and you choose to live. Each psychic gets a core technique, and these core techniques are based on how much leveling you have put into your psychic ability. So a biopsionic, they get kind of just, their psychic sucker is healing people. They can heal people for 1d6, they can heal people for 2d6, they can heal people all the way up to 3d6, which it all depends on your level of psychic, but 3d6, when you really realistically at max level have around 50 HP, is just intense. And if you pick the right abilities, you can do that for free. The only thing it costs the person being healed is one system strain. And that system strain is a temporary system strain that goes away after 24 hours, or, well, you lose one every 24 hours. So if you have a con of 12, and you can be healed 12 times. That is just absolutely nutty. The next one we're going to go over is metapsionics. Now, metapsionics is kind of like your I'm hiding from psionics, or I want to fight other psychics. It's really good against protecting yourself from other psychic abilities, along with hiding your own psychic abilities.
Yeah, there's a lot of role play potential in this. I mean, you just think about it like I'm hiding from these psychics who want to come kill me, or I want to find other psychics who I want to kill. A lot of roleplay potential here.
And it's something that you need to be concerned with if you are a psychic or other metapsionics, because as a general rule, telepath, if you read somebody's mind without their permission, it's a crime in like most worlds. Like the book is like very clear. Telepaths are very feared because those are the people that can blow up your brain essentially without you knowing. Metapsionics are probably one of the more fun ones to play, especially if you're kind of trying to play a secret psychic. However, if you're playing like a partial psychic, it's not something I would necessarily recommend because you're hiding your own psychic abilities, which is just that psychic ability from who. So, it's definitely better for a unrestricted psyker, in my opinion. Or psychic, not psyker. That's 40K. I've outed myself as a 40K fan. Darn it.
They're so different.
I'm so different. The next is precognition. Precognition is really fun. It's kind of fun and frustrating as a Galaxy Master. So your basic ability allows you to look into the future, and you get seen a vision of what's going to happen. Now at level 0, you get to see only 1 minute into the future, which can be helpful. Be like, hey, if I say this to this guy, is he going to take it good or bad? You know, that's a minute.
Or what's behind this door? Is it my impending doom?
Or is it the car I want, you know? Yeah. I'm sorry, I just thought of the game show. There's 3 doors, and
door number 1? No, actually door number 3. Number 3.
Number 3 is my final answer. Level 1, you go up from a minute to a day at level 1.
That's a massive jump.
That is a massive jump. You get to see up to a day in the future. Now, you don't get to see the whole day, but you get a vision of what's going to happen. So, like, if I was like, hey, Galaxy Master, am I going to be attacked or ambushed in the next day? And I might give you a vision of you going to sleep that night peacefully and happily, you know? Yeah.
So it's not like a one-to-one telling of what's going to happen in the next day. It's more like a general vibe check.
Mm-hmm. And you can get detailed in it. You can. Mm-hmm. It's all up to you how your Galaxy Master wants to interpret your question into a vision. The level. I mean, you can go all the way up at level 4 to a whole year. Right? Like, hey, is my planet going to blow up in a year? And you can do this. It costs you an effort. The only restriction on it is you can't do it again until something has significantly changed about your question. Mm-hmm. So if this, like, let's say,
is that rule to protect the DM from getting asked over and over again?
Probably, or that time has passed. So, like, let's say you ask that question: "Is my planet going to get blown up in a year?" And as the current states, no, you're not. Okay, well, what happens if you guys trigger an event where now a nuke is going to go off? Your planet's going to blow up. Yeah, something has significantly changed. And now your vision, you can do that again and say, oh, yeah, my vision, I'm going to blow up the planet. So it's a lot of fun. There's also one that is called Sense the Need. And this one has to be the most fun for a player, in my opinion, because what it means is you, in the current moment, need something, right? You basically get a free give me and say, well, actually, GM, I would like to use my ability Sense the Need. And now you get to go basically back in time, get the item you need as long as it's purchasable at a reasonable to obtain. And you just get that in the present moment. So let's say
that's the ultimate. I forgot to take notes.
You forgot to take notes
to get this player ability.
Yeah. So like there's a huge crowd of enemies right there. I sensed that I did need a grenade. Here's a grenade now. Oh, that actually happened to me. David, I love it. So they get a lot of abilities of either seeing into the future or kind of like changing it. It's a lot of fun. Now here is the one that everybody likes for combat focus. A combat focus psychic, you might want to take telekinesis. And the reason you want to take telekinesis is it's awesome against bots. So any non-VA or AI, VI or AI creatures, you basically just get to destroy. You are going to do a D6 based off of your level of psychic damage with your telekinesis to any object you want. Also, there's something called Telekinetic Armory, and this is a level 1 ability, and it is so stinking powerful. For starters, as an on-turn action, so just on your turn, you get to summon up a full suit of armor that has an AC of 15 plus your dex plus your telekinesis skill. So if you have a telekinesis skill of 1, a dex of 1, you have now an AC of 17. You know how hard it is to hit someone with an AC of 17?
That is crazy.
Yes. Now, this is where it gets even better. Instead, you also now get to just summon up a rifle anytime you want, or a melee weapon anytime you want. And it doesn't even cost you anything. So if I'm shooting at if I'm a telekinesis and I'm shooting someone at a distance and they approach close range, guess what? My rifle just turned into a sword and you are getting beheaded. It's
I thought crazy. It happened.
It happened. And that is amazing because instead of using like a stab or a shoot or a punch skill, you are now using your telekinesis skill for that, and you are using your wisdom modifier for that ability. So you don't need to be strong or dexterous to be able to attack people anymore.
They really are the masters of combat for the psionics.
They are the masters of combat, and my favorite ability is Impact Slump, which is a level 2 ability. And basically any physical damage, you just get to negate. It literally, I will read it word for word. It is the most open-ended thing in the world. The adept may commit effort for the day as an instant action to negate a single instance of physical damage. Just one single instance of physical damage. The ability is too taxing to use more than once per day, but as an instant action, it can be triggered even after damage has been rolled. So it's just physical damage. So if a bomb goes off next to me, negated.
Yep.
Done. A car hits me, negated. Done.
Somebody ambushed and tried to, the execution attack?
Yeah, nope. Someone tries to attack me, negated.
Nope.
Nope. It is absolutely brutal. And then at level 4, there's something called Force Puppet, and you can literally just use your telekinetic powers to move a human's body with relative ease and ability to mimic their life. I'm not even, it's brutal. The only thing is, if you make them do anything that's going to make them think that you're going to kill them, it goes away for some reason. All right. Next is, everyone knows this one, telepathy. Telepathy, you get to just kind of read people's minds. It's actually pretty interesting because you can do something called suppressed cognition, and you can just make people not think about things.
What did I have for breakfast?
No, let's say you're an assassin, right? and you want to do that execution attack. If I suppress your cognition of where I am or if I even exist, you're not going to notice me. I get to approach unseen for that whole minute. Stab attack. So, yeah, no, telepaths are crazy. You can also read like people's surface thoughts at level 0, and then at level 1, you can kind of get into a little bit of a greater detail.
Another really cool role play skills. Like,
yeah,
there's so much potential here.
Actually, our table right now is going and trying to figure out who this mole is on who's like they believe there's a mole that's giving out information about Caravan that you guys are investigating about getting raided. You weren't there last session, so I'm sorry. And David was using that to pretty good effect. Mm-hmm. Hey, how's this person feeling about our questions? Are they nervous, anxious? Like they get that detail. Mm-hmm. You can also just edit people's memory at higher level. Like that modify memory in 5E?
Yeah.
Dungeons & Dragons. Basically that. And then there's teleportation. Teleportation is a lot of fun because it is something that you can actually just do as a move action at a level 1. You can select a proficient apparition, and you can just teleport 10 meters as your move action.
So I don't even have to, I just have to see it, oh, there's a ledge up there. I'm now up there. I now teleport up there. And you
100%. And it's anywhere you can see. So if you've been there, you can do it. You don't even actually have to physically see it. Let's say I was in a room 10 meters back. Boom. I teleported back there because there's an ambush going on or something. And at higher levels, you can do this to the psychic can teleport anywhere on the planet's surface or in near orbit.
I'm back on my spaceship that's flying around.
Yeah, or hey, thanks for taking me to that show in the, I got to tour the prison vault or the whatever. Back I'm in the vault now and I get all the gold. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of fun applications with it. There's a one that's called Deep Intrusion, and you can blind teleport into buildings and other places, so you don't even need to
bend there.
See it, yeah.
Okay, now I'm here.
Yeah, it's a level 4 ability, but I always like to go over the level 4 abilities. So that covers all our psychic abilities. Now we are going to go ahead and go over the creation of a psychic character. Now, John, you've never played a psychic, so this is going to be fun for you. All right, so we're going to be starting off with rolling out your amazing attributes, John. So could you go ahead and pick up those 3d6, and we're going to start rolling out your psychic's abilities.
What are the abilities you want to focus on as a psionic?
Well, usually you can use your intelligence or your wisdom modifier or constitution. Now, if you're going telekinesis, you need to use wisdom because it specifically states wisdom. But yeah, for most, it's either intelligence or wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Let's roll 3d6. Here we go. So that is a 12. So
nice.
We can put that. Let's just put it in.
We don't have to put it anywhere yet.
We can just put it anywhere yet. Let's just put a 12 down and let's
we'll count it.
That is a very high roll. That is a 16.
16, dang. That might go somewhere important.
Yes.
You have another high roll and people are think we're liars.
If only I rolled this in our actual campaign. All right, 3d6, roll number 3. Here we go. That's more like a roll that I roll in the actual campaign. That's a 6.
That's to be the replacement, most likely. You are using my player killer dice. These are the dice I bring out when you guys need a lesson taught.
Yes, that's quite often. Most of the time you're very successful in teaching us a lesson.
Last campaign, I was a little too successful.
Hence why it's called the last campaign. All right, 3d6. Here we go. Okay, not bad. That's a 13.
Oh, definitely a great one for if you get one of those ability improvement points.
Roll number 5. Here we go. Okay, not terrible. It's an 11.
Yeah, I mean, it's no negatives so far except for that 6.
Last one.
3.
That's not a 3. That's a 15.
That's what I meant. Just 3 5s. I meant 3 5s. You just didn't hear the 5 part.
Oh, yes. So that's a 15. So, and I will replace my 6 with the 14.
You didn't want a negative 1? No? Okay.
You know, I don't really want the flaw, so we'll just replace that. And again, just Mr. Perfect over here.
Mr. Perfect, once again.
So, kind of thinking about it, want to focus on telekinesis and, the meta psionics?
Meta psionics? Yeah, those are 2 really fun ones.
I'm thinking wisdom needs to be my top attribute. So,
yeah.
Put the 16 there. And then, I would probably go 15 in probably Constitution. It's either Constitution or Intelligence. I think I'll go Constitution.
All right.
So stay hardy and stay up.
Yes, that is a big one, especially if you're going to be a frontline fighter with the telekinesis abilities.
And then I think we can just go down from there. We'll put a 14 in Intelligence.
Well, I would also recommend, remember, your armor, if you take telekinesis, armor also requires your dex.
That is a very good point. So we can put the 14 in dex. Then from there, I've got a 13, 12, and 11. So we can put the 13 in Intelligence.
Good choice.
12 for Charisma. And 11 for Strength. Who needs that?
Definitely not me. I mean, I'm just going to be carrying things with my telekinesis power anyways.
For sure.
I mean, at level 1, you can carry 440 pounds. Yeah, which I think is 200 kilos. And how it puts it in the book is 200 kilos, which is just 440 pounds. I mean, John, does that mean you together?
I think that's honestly more.
So, yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, telekinesis, you can really only affect objects, and unless you take armory, and then armory you can use attacks against flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
But once a person's dead, remember, they're an object. I have thrown dead bodies at people.
That's a good point, Why put it to waste? Why not just use what's in front of you?
That's what I do. All right, now that we got our attribute modifiers down, let's go ahead and pick out our background. Which background were you feeling towards?
So I was kind of just talking my character out. I was thinking we'd play, oftentimes you see characters like, oh, I'm trying to run from the secret psychic police. They're looking for me. Mm-hmm. Well, I want to be the psionic police, trying to find other psionics and rat them out.
Well, either a politician, soldier.
I like the politician, being down and dirty, trying to find other people.
Yeah, you're part of the psychic authority.
Yeah,
which is they're definitely a political force for sure. All right, the politician, you get the free skill of talk. And now we get to either roll from the growth table or the learning table. So
I think we'll do again like we did with the expert. We'll do 2d6 in the growth table because I think stats are pretty important for the psionics. And then we'll do 1 on the d8 learning table.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 and 1d8.
All right, good rolls. Here we go. Okay, so we got a 2 on the d6.
2 on the d6 is +2 to any mental stat.
Oh my gosh. So I think I can take my wisdom. So what did I get? So I got a 2 on my d6 and a 6. What is the 6?
Any skill.
So I could bump my wisdom up to 18.
It is new. You do need to know any skill does not apply to psychic skills.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
You can't pick a psychic skill as your any skill.
I can't pick a psychic skill as my any skill. So I can't pick wisdom. Oh, are you talking about? Yeah, I follow.
Skill, yeah.
Nope, I follow. So I've got a 16 wisdom right now. I think
you can bump that up to an 18.
I think I'm going to bump that up to an 18.
A +2. You know what's crazy having a +2 in this game? Jeez, your effort's going to be unlocked, man. Especially with you going meta and...
I'm a great member of the secret police. Let's just say that.
You are going to be a great member.
There's a lot of psychics that are not going to be around much longer.
And you rolled an 8.
So I still got my any skill, my 6 on the growth chart. So
well, let's talk about your 8 just because you got an 8. That's a talk. So now your talk is +1.
Okay. So my talk.
And you can't bring that up to a +2 until level 3.
Okay. So we've got talk. What other options? I'm thinking maybe we could do connect. As a politician, getting to know people, talking to people.
I mean, if you're a secret police, sneaking.
Sneaking would be good. I like that. I think I'm gonna go with the sneak then.
All right.
I really like
also, notice might be if like you're investigating.
Oh man, that's even better.
Yeah,
I really like that one actually.
All right.
This
notice.
guy's acting kind of suspicious. Yeah, we'll go with notice.
All right.
Doing this makes me want to change my character in our campaign to a psionic.
Well, it's an easy way to do it. Just die.
That is true. That is true.
And in Stars Without Number, it is not hard. Not saying it's a meat grinder, but it can be if you play the game be a meat grinder.
A little recklessly.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So now that we got your politician down, let's go ahead and pick. We got your skills. We got your roles. Now we need to go ahead and pick your class, which we are picking the Psychic. So I'm going to read this excerpt from the Psychic. Your hero has received training in controlling their natural metadimensional extroversion syndrome and can wield the psychic powers that have come from the strange affliction. Controlling and developing psychic abilities is an extremely demanding process, but allows for feats of wholly impossible to ordinary men and women. Psychics are extremely rare in the general population. Averages vary with worlds, but most range from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 100,000 who have MES condition. That makes them amenable to psychic training. Some of these go into entire lives without realizing their capabilities. Others end up exploiting their naive abilities without training, almost inevitably ending up in serious brain damage or crazed by the effects of unmitigated metadimensional energies. Your hero has been fortunate enough to find a psychic academy or other training instruction capable of molding and directing these abilities. They may have come into it late in life or have been recruited young by a society that carefully watches for MES syndrome. Some societies deal with psychics more graciously than others. On some worlds, psychic powers are even accepted as their processes can make forward basically that they're good.
Well said.
On others, they are feared in their uncanny powers and memories of their horrors in the scream led to less welcoming treatment. So, as a psychic PC, you, unlike warriors or experts, are capable of learning psychic disciplines and our association techniques, as described on page 28. When you pick this class, you may choose 2 psychic skills as bonus skills, and you can pick the same one twice and obtain level 1 proficiency and its free level 1 technique up from that discipline. So you can either pick 2 skills and get level 0 or pick 1 skill and get level 2.
I think for this first go through, I think I'm going to take 2 level 0. So getting telekinesis.
All right.
We'll put 0 in telekinesis and we'll put 0 as well in metapsionics, kind of to find others.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and pick out your focus. Because every character gets a free focus when it comes to their character creation at level 1.
I think this one's pretty easy. When I want to give psychic training.
Psychic training, going full psychic. I love it.
Yes, embrace the psychic. So I've had special the focus is the reads. You've had special training in a particular psychic discipline. You must be a psychic or have taken the partial psychic class as an adventurer to pick this focus. In the latter case, you can only take this training in the discipline you initially chose as a partial psychic. As with most foci, this focus can be taken only once. So, level 1, gain any psychic skill as a bonus. If this improves it to level 1 proficiency, choose a free level 1 technique from that discipline. Your maximum effort increases by 1.
Awesome. Effort's like your spell slots in 5e.
Mm-hmm.
And you do regain those based off of the ability you use. Some only consume effort for the scene. Some only consume effort for as long as you use it. Mm-hmm. So armory, for example, as soon as you're done using your armor, you get that effort back. And then some last the entire day.
We're putting a point in telekinesis again.
All right. So level 1 telekinesis, level 0 meta. Love it. All right. Would you go ahead and let's pull up page 28 and we're going to go ahead and read the ability that you want to pick. So psionics. We're going to start off with, you said Meta Psionics. So at Meta Psionics level 0, the Adept, you can visually and audibly detect the use of psychic powers if both the source and the target are visible to the Meta Psionic. They can tell who's using the power, even if normally imperceptible. So, like if someone's using telepath, they can still see it. Mm-hmm. They also gain a +2 to saving throws against psychic powers.
I mean, perfect to hunt down psionics. You know, you can detect it and resist it.
And at level 1 for telekinesis, the psychic can manipulate objects as if it was with both hands, and they can lift up to 200 kilos with this ability. Now, you also get to pick a level 1, which there are 3 options, ability.
So, my level 1 abilities, I have kinetic traversal, I have pressure field, and telekinetic armory.
So the pressure field allows you to have basically go into any environment for 30 minutes and not suffer consequences such as you're breathing in acid, you're underwater, or something like that.
Maybe it would be good for like an exploring focus campaign.
Very much so. And then
kinetic traversal.
The traversal one, that is the ability to basically walk on walls like a spider.
That's pretty cool, but I'm liking this telekinetic armory right
here.
Yeah,
I know. It's amazing. I absolutely do love it myself.
Not saying there's a right choice, but I think there's a right choice here.
Especially if you're going combat focused. If you're not going combat focused, there are other options. But if you are going combat focused, there is a right choice. All right. Perfect. So now that we got that taken care of, now we need to go over effort. So effort is your spell slots. And the way effort works is you get a number of effort points that you can use to use your abilities. And like I said, you get some back as soon as you're done using them, some back at the end of the scene, which is 15 minutes, or a combat session. And the third one is the whole day. Now, your effort is based off of your constitution or your higher ability, such as wisdom or intelligence. And it's based off of your psychic skill level. So if you have a level 1 psychic ability and you have a +2, like John does, to his wisdom, and that's a total of 3.
3 effort.
And then you get a free one for being a meta psionic.
Oh, so I have 4 effort.
Yes.
So I can do quite a bit at the same time.
Yeah, you have as many spell slots as like a level 20 warlock.
You love to see it.
I do love to see it. All right, that is fantastic. Just 4 effort ability points. That is absolutely insane. Next, we are going to talk about your free skill.
Oh, I get a free skill. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So go ahead and pick a free skill. It cannot be a psychic skill, but it is a free skill.
So just to recap, I have a 0 in notice, a 1 in talk. Let's see what else we could. So we've got some connect is still a possibility. No would not be bad either. I think though, like we had talked about before, I think sneak is the way to go. Kind of.
All right, you're a bit sneaky, you're a bit able to detect things. I like it.
So we'll put a point in sneak, so it brings us up to 0.
You got it. All right. Now that we've gone over your free non-psychic skill, you get to go ahead and roll your hit points. So go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Good rolls. Here we go. They're going to keep going. 1d6. Again, another respectable 4.
Plus your constitution.
So that brings me to a 5.
I like it. Now that we got your hit points done, we can go over your attack bonus. Now, attack bonus is going to work very similarly as it did last time. Your attack bonus is 0. So go ahead and put a 0 in your attack bonus. Because once again, your attack bonus is your level rounded down. Half your level rounded down. Sorry. And we're going to choose an equipment package. All right, John. So what equipment package do you think you're going to pick out?
You know, there's some decent options here. There's the thief, but I don't really feel like that would fit my character. Scout, again, not bad, but my character doesn't really have any use for guns. I mean, considering the psionic armory. I think the only choice really is the civilian, just to get the extra credits.
Yeah, walk away with 500 credits.
Yep. So
That is nice.
It's got the secure clothing with an AC of 13, the compad, and 700 credits.
Oh, 700 credits.
Yeah,
Dang.
rich. I'm rich.
Now, for anyone who doesn't want to pick an equipment package or find one that doesn't fit them, you can, of course, choose to select the equipment package that is 2d6 times 100. 2d6 is, and that's how much credits you're going to start off with. So the civilian's kind of a safe bet on that, where you're going to start off with 700 credits plus civilian clothing at AC 13. It's a good package to start off with if you really don't have anything that you think fits. But if you really want to roll it out, 2d6 times 100, and that's how many credits you're going to start the game off with. Now, you need to buy some things, but make sure you communicate this with your GM, because the GM might be starting you guys on a tech level 2 or 3 planet, and your equipment is going to be restricted to those tech levels.
Yeah, unless you're looking to buy a bunch of rocks, maybe you're not going to be able to find what you need.
Exactly. Caveman era stuff, pretty cool. Definitely got to get those loincloths. They're really in fashion, I hear, in the Proxima Centauri system. That's our closest star outside of the sun. All right, nerding out. Now we're gonna go ahead, and that we got the equipment package. We are gonna go ahead and go over hit bonuses. So you have telekinetic armory, and this is a little interesting because it's done a little differently. So as your ranged weapon, you get the basic rifle. Now, your weaponry counts as tech level 4 equipment for the interest of going through armor. So some armors block anything that's a primitive weapon, which is tech level 3 and lower. So your psychic ability basically ignores that, which is just fantastic.
Your bullets don't work here.
Yeah. So a rifle has the amazing 1d10 die plus 2 damage. Yeah. And then you're also going to add your wisdom modifier to that damage. Ooh. So, yeah, it's a bit crazy. You can realistically do 14 with your character points of damage. So, go ahead and write down rifle underneath your weaponry. I would put like telekinetic rifle or T-rifle so that people understand. You at least remember what it is. And then I believe those have a range of 200 for normal or 400 for far. And then it's 1d10 plus 2. And you might actually just put plus 4 because you have a plus 4 damage.
Yes.
And that has 0 shock damage because it is a ranged weapon. Now, here is where we get a little fun. Your melee weapon choice. There are small, medium, and large melee advanced weaponry. And this is where your telekinetic armory gives you. It gives you the option to have any 3 at any time.
I can just pick at any point, just decide I want something different. I want to make something big. I want a knife, or now I want a giant halberd.
100%. And it's all advanced weaponry too. Now, advanced weapons, there are the 3 categories. They don't actually tell you what they are because you kind of just get to pick what they are. Mm-hmm. But if it's two-handed, if it requires 2 hands, it is a large. If it requires 1 hand, it's a medium. And if you want it concealed, it basically like a knife, it's a small. Now, as a telepath who's also metapsionic, which can hide their abilities at level 1, which you haven't gotten yet, it's relatively useless to even need to hide it. But anyways, what weapon do you want?
Well, I was just thinking about the character. I need something a little more discreet. So, I definitely think like some kind of badass knife would be the way to go.
Okay. A small advanced weapon is 1d6. Now, there is no plus to that, I believe, but we can pull that up real quick. I'm going to steal your book for a second. Go to equipment. That's too far.
I would get the +2, though, for my wisdom, right?
Yeah, everything gets your +2 for your wisdom, basically. Everything except for your armor.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Yeah, no, the armor doesn't. All right. So if you want to go for a small advanced weapon, it's 1d6, and you get 1 point of shock damage for anyone with an AC of 15 or lower. Which is really nice because you now get to do 3 points of shock damage. But if you ever choose to do a large advanced weapon, it's 1d10 plus 1 for 2 points of shock damage with an AC of 15. Now, that is a big difference, but just think about it this way. You are now doing 1d10 plus 3 damage, and your shock damage is a minimum of 4.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. And when a character on average has a d6, which is 3 to 4 hit points max, like on average, your shock damage is, you don't even need to roll damage most of the time. Now monsters and more advanced or veteran fighters are going to have more HP, of course, but for your basics, you're gonna absolutely be just devastating.
Of course, the GM's going to jack up the difficulty now.
No, I don't like it when people do that. I mean, you let your characters shine for what they are. Combat's just one point of the game. I don't jack up the difficulty on the role players or the experts. I'm not going to do it to the telepath. All right, now that we got down your weapons, let's go over your saving throws. So, once again, your saving throws. Your physical abilities are strength or con, and it starts at 16 minus your level. So, your con is what, plus 1?
My con is plus 1, so that would bring me to a 14.
14, that's correct. And then your
My
evasion is either your dex or your intelligence, which you have a
15
because it's minus your level.
Oh,
you have a 14 in dex, so it's 13.
Well, I have
you have a 14 in dex.
Yes, correct. So, yes, you're right.
Yeah, so that's a 14.
Math is hard.
Yeah, so 16 minus 1 for your level minus 1 for your dex is 14. And then finally, the one that's going to be low is going to be your mental, which is going to minus your wisdom.
Yep, my 16 minus my level, which is 1, minus my wisdom modifier, which is 2, so a 13.
13, just an absolute unit on your wisdom.
But I mean, still, though, that's a very low probability of success, or a pretty high bar. It's a
65% probability of failure.
Yep.
Well, no, 60% because 13 would be the DC you meet it. So 60% is pretty good at level 1. And we need to go over your AC now. So your AC is 15 plus your telepath, which is 16. Because you got a plus 1 to your telekinesis ability.
Yep. Yes.
So that's a 16. And then you get to add your dex modifier.
So 17 total. So I get to add
17 total, which is just an absolute unit to hit. Absolute unit.
This is a combat monster.
It is a combat monster. I mean, for example, power armor, the low starts at 18. Yeah, that's power armor. That's tech level 4 or 5 power armor starts at 18. And then next, when he hits level 3, if he plays this character ever, level 3, you can increase your ability modifier to your skill modifier to a plus 2. And then your AC goes up by 1. So you're going to have an AC of 18.
My expert
3.
might meet an unfortunate demise next session. And the psionic might be coming in behind him.
Yeah, you got this. Your guy works for the Psionic Authority, right? So lastly, we need to go over your character's name. What do you think you're going to name this character?
It's got to be something cool. I'm thinking like Striker with a Y.
Striker with a Y. I like it. Striker.
It's an edgelord.
Edgelord. I'm just imagining like an edgy Sherlock Holmes, like the ones with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. You narc. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us as we explore the depths of Stars Without Number. Please go ahead and subscribe and give us a like. It goes a long way to supporting the channel and spreading this amazing hobby of tabletop RPG. Until next time, I'm Galaxy Master Alex.
And I'm Neophyte John.
And this has been Galactic Tabletop.